Hi, everyone. Today we have a special guest in my channel, that is Parul Mehta. Now, this is a unique and a different concept that we have today in my channel as such. So, I'd first start off with introducing you to Parul Mehta. Let's understand more about her and also understand the interesting facts that she does. Hi, Parul. How are you?
Hi, how are you, dear? Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having me.
Parul. Doing great. So nice to have you on my channel.
Likewise, likewise. Really appreciate your work you do for the community. And yeah, let's start.
Thank you, Parul. And likewise, in fact, women like you are inspiration for us. And look at that positive energy that you spread across. And lovely to see you, lovely to meet you, and glad we met. Yeah. So thank you so much, Parul. So yeah, let's first I'd love to know more about you, as in, where are you from and when did you start off with something like the concept that you're going to introduce us to. So over
All
to
right.
you.
So, yes. So start with I'm Parul Mehta. I'm based in Sydney. A lot of people know me as the founder of Indian Matrimonial. So, matchmaker. I have entered into this matchmaking kind of a community work from last 3 years as a profession. Before that, I used to do on a community level for 1 or 2 years just to get my head around whether to see whether this is something I'm liking, whether I'm able to make a difference into people's life. And once I was very sure, I went ahead, registered myself, and started working step by step, baby steps. Now I'm very proud of where I've reached so far, but obviously the journey is going to be ongoing and I'm going to continue developing and continue growing. So, for the people who do not know what is Indian matrimonial, it is a proper matchmaking service based in Australia. I'm based in Sydney. I serve people of all age group, say from around 26, 27. Gone are the days where people used to get married at 21, 22 on a little bit more of a arranged marriage kind of a scenario.
Yeah.
So when people are well educated, settled, they have substantial kind of a career growth in front of them, bit of a saving, kind of a behind them. So when they're actually ready to marry and move on, 27, 28 age, up to 60, 65. I also have somebody 67 years in my database. So any age group, I specialize in matching people who are based in Australia or New Zealand, who are PR, citizen, valid, professional kind of a people. There would be an exception of somebody who is, say, for example, yes, he's a citizen, but he's working in the London at the moment. Or somebody is not at all in Australia, but their siblings are very well settled in Australia, but they've been raised in Singapore, for example. So something like that is an exception. But mainly 98, 99% of my database is only for the people living in Australia, wanting to meet also somebody living in Australia and want to continue living in Australia. So that is, in a nutshell, my intro. Very private service, very confidential service. So what it means is the client's details, their photograph, their name, their profile does not appear anywhere on the social media, including my own website. Everything is kept very secret, and we release information as and when needed and agreeable by both the parties. So that's a very unique feature of my thing, that once you are on my database doesn't mean the whole world gets to know that you are looking for a match. We can deal this issue lot more with dignity, if that's the right word.
That's
And
amazing,
yeah.
Parul. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, no. So pretty much that's it. Price point also, yes, it is a paid service, but is it something non-achievable? No, it is absolutely at the core. It's a community work. As long as I can manage my bills within this, I'm fine. A lot of people who would know me, they know that I also have a full-time job career with government from last 20, 22 years. My husband works for finance. Daughter is a doctor. Son is studying to be aerospace engineer. So we belong to the community where we want to give back now. When I was a new migrant, I was very well looked after by the communities here. And I think when God has given us everything, the food on the plate, roof to live over the head, car to drive, decent clothes to wear, why not just give back to the community? And that's what me and my family do.
Wow, that's amazing, Parul. And that's exactly why I said women like you, and you are such an inspiration to all of us. And the attitude, the thought of giving back is such an amazing thought, which we all need to learn, right? And so selflessly giving, that is more important. So thanks for
Yeah.
that lovely message. And I think this is a great initiative. And more so over the point that you mentioned that it's a very secured community, because a lot of them have, kind of insecurities or apprehensions, as you rightly said. Is it going to be exposed? Is someone going to know if I kind of go in, trying to check for a partner as such? So this is, I think, a very secure community, and you're doing a great, amazing job there. So curious as to, you started at 3 years back, and then it was COVID time. Again, a positive message that I take from there is, while a lot of people were sulking about COVID, thinking, "Oh my God, the world's come to a standstill," you started off something like this, which is very tough. It's an online thing that you would have started then, no, and kind of getting that face value in person meeting would have been so tough. So, how did you start that? I mean, that requires a lot of guts and courage to start something like that. So, how did you start that? And what's the message that you want to give to all of us?
Yes. So even without COVID or anything, starting something like a matrimony is a very tough thing. It's a very responsible thing. And even if it looks very easy, it is not. And especially with the way I work, it is a lot of my involvement into it. It's not the computer algorithm that you buy a software and that matches people depending on the height and the weight kind of a scenario. That's not how I work. My style is a lot of mentoring, lot of coaching that goes behind the matchmaking. So people who must be in the whirlpool and struggling for many years, they come to me sometimes and they feel so blessed that they reach my desk because I take time to meet everybody, talk to everybody. There are special provisions for people who want to meet me one on one. We go through the history checks, we go through the setting the target right, and whatever were the hurdles and everything. So I have a system that goes on. So obviously, at the times of COVID, when people were very lonely and struggling and everything, I was just starting off because, as I mentioned, 2 years, 3 years before that, I was doing it. But I was really not too sure. But when the time was right, when I was ready, and I knew that I can help people, that is the when I started going little bit bigger. And so glad I'm doing it now. So now that there is no restriction, last weekend I was in Melbourne, so I make myself available to different cities of Australia as well now. So we go there, we hold exhibitions, we meet people one on one. Same thing I do in Sydney. If you can see, my flyer would be everywhere in some event, not the other. The money I earn from this matrimony platform, most of the money goes back either in developing my websites or improving my stuff, or everything goes back to the community as a donation or as a sponsorship or something. And that's why you see me a lot of places. And I'm very approachable. Anywhere you go on the social media, you can find my phone number, my website, everything, Instagram, Facebook. Come and approach me, even if you don't know which is the right date to start looking for, which is the right time to start looking for somebody. Or say if you are in a relationship with somebody from last 2 years, but person is not giving a solid answer, you don't know whether to wait for that person or move on. Doesn't matter, don't become my member, book an appointment for consultation, come and talk to me. I might be able to give you tips and ideas here and there that can solve your love life. And that is what I'm planning to do, to expand my awareness in regards to consultation rather than limiting only to the matrimony, because I feel there is a lot of value in giving young generation that knowledge. Because what happens typically, Uttara, is we as a parents, I'm well and truly 53, so parents generation I call them. We as a parents generation have been raised with different set of values, and we believe matchmaking is 1 2 3 kind of a dot point.
Right.
Kids who have been raised in Australia, they have very good understanding of our Indian values. Like they are sentimental about India, and they are, respecting and appreciating what parents have done. But that's not enough. We as the parents have brought them to Australia. We have raised them as an Australian citizen. So they have mind of their own, values of their own, and which could be closer to the very much homegrown Indian value or very much Australian value or somewhere in between. To find them at a peace and give them the confidence to go through the system of a modern dating app as well as conventional systems like me, and finding that balance is very important. So my style is not like, no, 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 if you are with me, you don't look elsewhere, and dating apps are all fake and don't fall for the trap kind of a scenario. I'm more of a team worker. I'm more of your support network. So whatever your as a client your issues are, feel free to open. And Mithra, every day I have one or two appointments just for this thing. Could be for the dejection they have from the previous relationship, or they are liking somebody but they cannot settle the finances or something, the insecurities that come with fear of unknown kind of a scenario, or parents are not liking the girl, auntie, but I really fall for this girl. What do I do? How do I navigate? So I have all sort of scenario, and my people love me for my very balanced approach. And I think if at all anything I take from this whole learning experience, that they teach me a lot, and I am very grounded person in that regard. So I'm happy to learn as it comes, implement, and just give support to whoever they need it most.
Yeah, and we can see that, Parul. It is so nice talking to you. As in, I'm sure people, when they feel really low about how situations are going and the way I think you have so much to offer, not just by the deeds that you're doing, but the positivity as such, which you bring across. I think that really makes a difference. So that's an
Yeah.
amazing, I mean, that's really amazing the way you work and the thought process that I think that aura spreads around. So thanks for that.
it,
That's
it,
lovely, Parul. And I think it's
it
a huge difference that's coming to the community because of that.
it is. And sometimes, Uttara, sometimes I will introduce you to some of the couples that I've, like, say 3 years, already 13, 14 couples have been married. And there is another three or four in the pipeline down the track. While I was in Melbourne last weekend, I was, hosted by one of the couple that I would have met, and they were married in January, but I had not been to the wedding because it was in India. They hosted a dinner for me. They came and met and something, and you see the love and energy around it. Like sometimes I feel, I'm getting tired. I'm getting worn out in this job. This is like no something. When you see that couple, oh my goodness! Like God give me more power and energy to do this more and more every day. That's
That's
what
so
I.
sweet. And I see that joy on your face, Parul. That speaks a lot. That's so nice
Yes,
of
yes.
you. And it's
Given
and
a chance, sometimes I'll introduce you to those couples and everything, and you would vouch for it that no, this is something, if I'm enjoying, I should be doing it multiple times.
definitely, Parul. And I'm sure some of the couples might even come for the events that you are hosting very soon. I mean, there's
Yes,
so
they
many
do. They do.
happening around. So I'm
I,
sure people want to know more about it. They want to meet you, and especially seeing that positivity, that joy, and that love that you're spreading across. Just like me, a lot of them want to meet you in person. So, when's the next event happening? Where are you next? In Sydney, where
Okay,
are you?
so yes, so in Sydney, come to 28th of the October, I am holding my stall at one of the bridal expo that is in Rosehill. All the details would be seen on my Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. But you have my publish my phone number everywhere you want to. No problem. People can reach out.
Yes,
On 29th of the October, I would be for a few hours in the morning for Pink Ribbon in Paravilla that has been hosted by Sue Advani and Rekha Rajwanshi. So I've been supporting them way before the matrimony came on board. I think that this is the 11th or 12th year. From
yep,
the day one, I've been with that. So I will be in the morning hours, I would be there. In
yes,
afternoon hours, I would be at the Ponds. It is by Dolly Aurora. It's called Shagna Di Raat. It's more designed for the Karwa Chauth kind of a thing. But I put
correct.
my stalls everywhere. So that's where I would be. There is also on 20th, there is some bridal expo by Goddess Circle,
Yes,
and that is Tia Goren and everybody. So I have event constantly coming up. Every month I would be outside meeting people for whatever event, and that is all free. You can come and talk to me anytime. That's not a restriction. However, somebody wants to talk very private, 101, without anybody listening to them, then there is a process of registering, making sure that I'm free and they are free. I talk like this online or FaceTime or video call or something, if that is what is easier for both the parties. Sometimes I also meet 101, either at my home office or at the club or coffee house or something, depending on the scenario. So If you want to talk to me, just reach out and anywhere you would be. But the main thing is follow my social media. That's where I keep updating. It's not, look, I don't have admin team of 500 people who can keep in touch. So
Yes.
I am blessed by social media, and they are the good spreader of where I am.
Perfect, perfect, Parul. So that's great. So what I'm going to be doing for the viewers is first giving, sharing your details in the description box, and also the events that you would be there for the next this month and the next month, so that they can meet you in person as well. And yeah, that's going to be great. And Parul, I must say, apart from today's meeting, I would want to really help the viewers with another session of yours, wherein you could teach us, the young moms, young parents, and all of us, how to manage time, because I think you do an amazing job with that. There is so much to learn from that part of Parul as well. Multitasking, we would definitely want to have a session with you on that as well.
Ah, yes. No, no. Good point. Look, generally, I'm not incredibly proud of myself as a time management, but as and when I do feel there are some tricks why I have succeeded and what I have done to make self that my emotional health, my, everything is intact. In spite of working maybe sometimes 20 hours in a day, and I can do it. So there are some support networks that you have to build. So rather than time management, what kind of a support network have helped me sustain in Australia from 2022 years? I'm more than happy to share. In anybody who, as a viewer, would like to join, please get in touch with Uttara beforehand. So, and send the questions also beforehand. I'm more than happy to, spend some time aside and put it a good interactive kind of a session if that comes down to. More than happy. Anytime, dear.
Great. Thank you so much, Parul. And thanks for that again. And yes, viewers, I hope you had a great session with Parul today. There's so much she has to offer. There's so much of learning that we have from her as well. And what she's doing is such a positive thing for a lot of families, young couples, and anybody, who's married, who's divorced, who's single, and want to, get married again. It's a lovely platform and community that she has built. There's an amazing positive thought going into that as well. So definitely, for those who are wanting to are interested, please look at the description box below. I would share Parul's details. Please get in touch with her. And for those who want to meet her in person, don't miss the weeks to come. She's going to be there. So yes, Parul, thank you so much for that. And as I mentioned before, we'll have a session 2 with Parul again, which would be specifically on time management and multitasking. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks,
It was
Parul.
lovely
You
talking to you.
same here, Parul. And thank you so much. Thanks again for spreading the love to all of us. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.